All right, I think we are live. Hello, hello, my Zen friends. Welcome to a special Friday night session where I do come on, back on, into a second stream to complete all the readings from the earlier session that I did not get to. You'll notice in the description box of the video, I have the order in which I'm going to attempt to complete the readings. After I'm done with this session, I will also post a pinned comment listing the timestamp that I complete each of the readings to. So after I'm done, I will post it within like 30 seconds. Okay, maybe not, but I'll be coming. Like I said, I'll put all that on there. I will start off with the donations and then into the YouTube channel members, their free readings, and then into the other probably 20 other free readings. So we will complete them all tonight. So thank you for your patience in getting to your readings. You'll notice there's no chat. I'm not taking any new questions tonight, but I will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and then also on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, if you'd like to join me then for any new questions. All right, but we will jump in. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Could be. I'm going to continue to use these round tarot. I do enjoy those, so we'll use those. Here, and we will jump in. So let me grab timestamp. So Suri, you are up first. So Suri Amanda, thank you again for your multiple donations this evening. So for this one, you wanted to know, is Jean taking readings on you? If so, what's the information? Guys are spying on each other through the psychic realm. Dun, 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 dun. We'll find out here. All right, so let's take a look. Are they seeking readings on you? All right. And if so, what kind of information are they getting here? Let's take a look. I don't feel like they are. You know, the Two of Wands is the power of energetic choice. And I feel like here, which really usually doesn't stand out to me like this, but they're staring at the world, the physical world that's there, not the spiritual world. So I feel like they are looking more at the physical and not trying to see things from their third eye. They're really looking at with their physical two eyes. We'll find out what they feel they're picking up here, what information they think they're seeing by observing. Since you made a donation, let's just get a little nosy anyway. But I don't feel like they are doing readings on you. Wow. So the star card, they do see this balancing energy, Aquarian energy. It's dream come true energy. So I do feel like there's a bit of this uh, perception of going, they like what they see with the star card. Very balanced energy with the seven stars that are around the big star up there represent the seven chakras. So it's a balanced energetic approach, but I do feel like they're watching and they are observing things going, all right. So I feel like that's a positive perception that they're picking up with their two human eyes. They also have the Three of Pentacles. They see you as someone who is really true and true to your authentic self, that you are who you are. You don't hide, you don't pretend. It's like, this is me, and you don't like alter your personality to try to be who you think that people want you to be. And they like that. They like that you're true to yourself and that you don't put on airs, you don't pretend. Like I said, you don't lie, and maybe you don't hold back either. Which they don't see as a bad thing here with this energy. They prefer honesty. Even if it's blunt honesty at times, they would prefer that even if it was that. Not saying that yours is, but they would prefer blunt honesty over kind, holding back facts and pretending to be someone you're not. So they like that honest kind of energy. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles here. They do see you as someone that is different and unique. And I feel like this with this coming out of the air, I kind of felt like that you're a breath of fresh air. You're a new path that they haven't been down before, and it's kind of intriguing in a way. So they're just really looking at you going, "You're odd, and I like it." That's funny. Wow, and Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, very abundant energy. I don't feel like there's anything here that, uh, is concerning. I feel like they are a pretty well, how do you say, well-rounded person in that they see things like they get it that no one is perfect. No one's gonna meet anyone else's full expectations, and so I feel like they look at the what they feel are the important things in life. They don't sweat the small stuff, and you're really hitting a lot of the big things that are important to them. So, I like that for you, Siri. So, there you go. Many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Moonlight, you are up next for your two donations here. So thank you so much for those. Let me grab your timestamp here. All right. So glad to wake up in the middle of the night. Hopefully, were able to go back to sleep and you're not waiting for your reading. But thank you again. So let's take a look. So for your first one, you were wondering why R was calling you yesterday, why he seemed so upset that you did not answer his call uh, when you texted him last night. He says, okay. So he called you yesterday and then he seemed upset, but that you didn't answer the call when you texted him last night, it sounded like he was upset. Why didn't you answer? Okay. I get you. Let's take a look here. So why was he calling you yesterday? Okay. What else? Okay, well, these are all the reasons why he was calling you yesterday. No, no. Is there more than that? I don't feel like it. Let's see, but why did he seem upset that you didn't answer his call? Okay. All right. We will get to the bottom of the upsetness. I feel like this is part of it here. All right. So why was he calling you? So 8 of Wands. There was a lot of flow of energy. Let's see, what was this? Yep, 2 of Swords. So 2 of Swords is the battle between the head and the heart. And it almost feels like there was a decision that they were trying to make. And the 8 of Wands, there was a lot of energy. They had a lot of passion around whatever a decision was that they wanted to make. And I feel like they were torn between their mind saying something, their emotions saying something. But there's a lot of energy. I just feel like they were very riled up and they needed to talk to you. I need to talk to you because I feel like you're a good balancer for them. You help kind of dissect and go, okay, this is what your mind is, this is what your emotion is, and now you can see what decision you want to make. So I feel like that they really needed your opinion. They needed someone. It's interesting. I'm getting this energy. It might go in more into this too. That they like involving you in things because then they can blame you, or at least share the blame. Well, you did tell me this. Even if they don't say it to your face, I feel like in their mind, at least they're like, well, I'm not totally to blame because this person, and I feel like they do that a lot, not just with you, but with other people. If I can get other people's opinions, and if I make a wrong choice, I'll be like, well, they were part of the, conspiracy. No, what is it called? When it's something where well, yeah, they conspired together to do something. It's like when you're part you get part of the lawsuit or part of the law coming down on you because you also participated. There's some sort of legal rule, but I feel like it's emotional. Like at least I can not feel as bad because I can internally blame other people. Interesting. Um, so that's why he was calling. He seemed so upset. The bottom of the deck, we do have the 5 of Wands, which is the drama card. a lot of energy, the need of transformation of energy. So that does come into play here, that I needed you to help talk me off a ledge, or you weren't there when I needed you and you were ignoring me, because in their mind, you saw the call, sent it to voicemail, or didn't answer them, seeing that it was them and you chose not to, right? That's what's happening in their head because of how they feel, right? And what else? Why were they upset? So they have the 10 of cups, which is joy and celebration. Let's see. So there's something with the death and rebirth card. So something stole their joy away. Yeah, but the 2 of cups. And then, yeah, the Knight of Wands. So a lot of fastest moving horse. So a lot of energy, a lot of movement, a lot of uh just riled up energy that's here. This 2 of Cups has to do, I feel like there's like these expectations, and this relationship that you guys have built is, it just feels like it's almost, it's not quite codependent on your side, but on their side, I feel it is, where they're like, "This is what you're supposed to give me. You're supposed to help me keep my joy and to bring back my joy, and you weren't available, and I lost my joy." And then you text me at night. I thought I was more important than that. Well, this is all this internal energy that's going on about their self-importance to themselves and how they're defining it by the outside world. So I feel like that's where it was. It just, it's the fight or flight mode. It's the, um, getting upset and, oh, now you contact me. I needed you before, not now. And it's kind of that, bleh, I don't like it. All right. Oh, and I'm so sorry. I didn't pull here. Uh, I didn't get, I don't, poor, Suri is probably not listening anymore. Suri, I owe you a fortune cookie. If you are seeing this, I owe you one. So your fortune cookie for your first one here is, I am my new, true, fierce self, defined by my actions of joy and kindness, definitely not my history. I like it. Your fierce unicorn dinosaur self. I like that. That's right. You don't need other people's approval. Boom, right? All right. And then that was for your first one. So thank you for that. And thank you for your second one. That's funny. You have a rainbow unicorn for your second sticker, and you had a dinosaur unicorn. Anything for this weekend and the next few days that you need to know? All right, let me take a sip here. All right. I feel like these are for the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and then a few days after that. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I feel like there's underlying energy here too, though. All righty. So I do like bottom of the deck. You do have the Page of Pentacles, so there is some new opportunities opening up with that energy this weekend. It's external world kind of opportunities. Let's see what these opportunities are about. So we've got Saturday. All right. Well, Saturday, you have a great opportunity with the Sun card is victory, brightness, sunshiny. And the Two of Wands is your power of choice that comes in here too. So I feel like Saturday, we got Saturday and Sunday. If I said Friday, I apologize. But I feel like Saturday with that Two of Wands, you do have the two opportunities. I don't feel like this is the power of like energetic choice and getting all into this stuff. This is just simply, you have two opportunities in the outside world to go have some fun on Saturday. You don't have to choose either of them, but there is no wrong choice between the two. If it's either or, then choose what your heart wants and let your inner child out to play with this Sun card, with the little inner child that's there on the bottom going, woohoo, let's go for a horseback ride, right? but don't get arrested by going naked like the little baby. But I like this, and if there's 2 opportunities, I mean, there's no wrong one to go, like, if one's earlier in the day and one's later. I feel like it's about going out and enjoying and shining bright. It's a play day, Saturday for you, and you have 2 opportunities. Like I said, there's no wrong choice, and there if no choice and not going to either is fine with you too, but you have a great opportunity to have some fun, and I like that. Sunday, again, wow, the power of choice and celebration, a party. So, what is this? A party weekend? You've got both days. You have opportunities to go to joyful celebrations and gatherings, but both of these power of choices is it's up to you. And there's no wrong choices. Both of them, all three of these, because I feel like there's just one on Sunday, but there is this great opportunity to feel your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. I feel like you'll meet a lot of different people who are different energies, and I feel like you need that. You need to kind of refresh some of these individuals that you've been hanging around, and there are great opportunities for you to do that this weekend. A few days after that, yeah, looks like Monday we've got thievery and liars and deceit. So something to be aware of that there's a lot of people that are, or at least an individual to be aware of that just is not telling you the truth on Monday. And just knowing it doesn't mean you have to do anything about it, but it's about going in with it with your eyes wide open. Tuesday feels like a day of making change where you, with new information, choose to go a different route. But it's you empowering you going headed this direction, taking an exit ramp and going a different direction. And then Monday, Tuesday, yeah, Wednesday. With this page of swords, you get a lot of clarity that comes in on Wednesday. I'm gonna just move these over. Um, so I like this. You also have this underlying energy. Let's see what else we can find out here. So Monday with the deceiver, yeah, the hermit card, they're like, maybe be at home with yourself. Maybe avoid this and don't listen to whoever wants to do something on Monday. I feel like avoid it. Really go step back and connect with spirit, trust your gut, trust your intuition. But it very much is kind of stepping away on Monday from people and situations. Feels like it's much more favorable for you just to kind of rest and relax, disconnect from social media and talking to people, spend some time with you and with spirit, doing some internal reflection. Tuesday, yeah, and here it is. Yeah, this is you definitely choosing to what you want to do and where you want to go, because the King of Wands realizes how much they were trying to live up to other people's expectations, and everyone has self-appointed advisors telling them all this stuff, and they're like, nope, I'm going to decide what I want, and I'm going to go the directions that I want to go to instead. So I like that energy here. So definitely Tuesday is a day of taking power and deciding what you want to do and screw the world. Yay. Wednesday, this clarity that comes in, you have the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups can be either, and I feel like it's a combination of things, but it's clarity about past, someone from the past. There's also past life energies that come in here. And I feel like Wednesday, it definitely feels like a time of revelations about people of the past. And I like this realizing that, they're um they and anyone else, we've had so many lifetimes that we've been different. We've been them in other lifetimes. It's like, "Oh, that person's a jerk." Well, I've been a jerk in other lifetimes, right? So, all right, well, who am I to judge? I was that in other lifetimes. You're playing that part in this lifetime. Bleh. It's like really, stepping back on how we're, seeing other people, perceiving other people in lifetimes, uh, and the releasing judgments. I just feel like there's a lot of clarity of understanding people and going, you know what? I'm I know where this comes from. I know the roots of these things. And so I'm releasing them. I'm not going to let their actions or non actions, their words or their silence define anything about me because it's not personal. I know why they're doing that. That's about them, not about me. So I like this freedom. I like that. And then your fortune cookie says, I let go of those who have harmed me in the past. Shut up and embrace my beautiful self. P is the power of self love. That the P on their little belt there. Dun, da, da, da. I like it. How perfect. All right. So that's what they have for you, Moonlight. Thank you again for your dual donations. I greatly appreciate that. All right, everybody. So those are for the donations. Those take a little bit longer than the others. Um, but we're about to move into free readings, which is just 1 to 2 cards each. So these will move a little bit faster. So thank you again for all your patience in getting to these. Let's refresh these. Let's try that again. If you ever have a chance to attempt to shuffle around cards, I totally encourage you to try. Definitely helps improve your patience. All right. So first we have got 4 of my YouTube channel members who have free readings. So we'll do those. And then we'll move into the rest of the free readings as well. So Lolita, you are up next. So grab your timestamp here. Whoa, maybe. There we go. So Lolita, I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. And you want to know, how do you sort things with the person on your mind? Let's see what Spirit has here for you. How do you sort things with the person on your mind? All right. Well, there are definitely a lot of different emotions with the 7 of Cups coming in here. So the first thing is to really take a big deep breath and step back and try to understand what you're feeling here, because you do have the 3 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. 3 of Pentacles energy is about being true to your authentic self, but I feel like it's important just with the combination of these cards that you have to understand what are your emotions, what is your part in here, because in order to sort things with a person, I like it that the person that's in your mind, you have to go into your mind and understand how your mind is perceiving the other person. And because we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. And so that's why you have to figure out what of what you're feeling and interpreting and perceiving is in you and what is really going on with them. And the Page of Wands, that's um it is new passion, but that's like fire. What is this? What is at the root of the trigger within you? Because in order to sort things out with people, we got to understand what caused the eruption, right? Because it takes 2 to battle, and we only battle, like this ninja cat. When our little inner child feels unsafe and out of control, alarms go off. Our little 2-year-old and pet hissing cat are in charge because our intelligent, loving, compassionate side is booted out. And then we're just left with a 2-year-old and a pet hissing cat making decisions. That's why we have cat fights, hissing at each other, or hissing and running away, or attacking and then running away, right? And so it's understanding what's the trigger that's going on inside you, because it's just going to keep happening. So in order to sort things out with someone, we need to find out what part of this was me and being honest with ourselves. And as you look at yourself, look at it and go, okay, what is my fear? What did I fear in this situation? Why did I react? What is this trigger? And when we get to the root of it, we can understand, oh, I get it. It was my fear of rejection, my fear of not being enough, my fear of lack. And this goes all the way back to stuff way before I ever met them. Then we can move forward and go to the other person, because if we don't do that first, what I'm going to end up doing is going, you did this and you made me feel this way, and all that does is cause more eruption, right? But once I can sit with and recognize what my part was, I take responsibility for my part and I can apologize. I know, but that's what it takes to sort things out with people, is find out why I chose to engage in the battle when they offered me a battle, or when I said something and they triggered their I got a hissing cat and attacked, and so then I got scared and I went to defensive mode and attacked or ran away, or one or the other, right? But so I can go forward and tell them, I really would like to talk about what happened. I realize why I reacted the way I did. What? Someone comes to you in that manner, we don't feel defensive, because they're not blaming us, they're not attacking us. They want to share what they learned about why they reacted what they did. In our minds, you mean tell me why you acted the way you did and you did that to me, you know. But in the beginning, we can talk about it and go, this is where I'm coming from. I'm sorry that I engaged in that and then I did that because I didn't that's not what I wanted to do. I care about you. Um, and I'm working on that. Not expecting an apology, not expecting them to open up, but you being vulnerable, you sharing that, but you have to do your work first. Otherwise, you're just gonna go in, same old thing. We're gonna continue to do what we've always did and get what we've always gotten if I don't change something, right? So hopefully that helps, Lolita. I know that was a lot. You might have to listen to that a few times. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dears. So many, many blessings to you. All right. And then Ashish, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Ashish, you want to know, is Lovisha your soulmate? Because you can't stop thinking about her and you're not in contact. All right. Let's take a look. So is Lovisha your soulmate? Don't feel like any of those is okay. All right. I feel like these two are your answer. So you have the King of Cups. King of Cups is this it's a card that represents like a very compatible person. And um so in your mind, and I don't feel like this is soulmate energy that I'm getting here, but I feel like you in your mind, just because the other card, sorry, I should show that to you. We have the um, 10 of Swords, which represents expectations galore, the mind, the mind, the mind. So your mind has this idea of who this perfect person, this perfect compatible person is. And in your mind, you're like, oh, they're it, because they're this and 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 they're this. It's this balance between heart and mind. But the 10 of Swords tells me that there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of this motorcycle zooming on by. Yep, there they were. They were there, and then they were gone. They came flying down the street. Um, so, and this is as fast as they came in, they as fast as they went. And so there is a reason why you guys came through each other's life, and this is to bring attention to the expectations that you have around who this perfect person should be. We have small t truths rooted in fear, supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be. We're given all this opinion growing up, and our mind goes, yes. And he says, you can't stop thinking about her. Emotion, thinking. And all these 10 of Swords is all the thinking. It's the air thinking energy. And so when we start looking at it and understanding you know, where all these fears are, where all this about being good enough, not being good enough, this fear of rejection, this fear of not enough. There's this like a mirage that you painted of who they are. But when you really start writing down everything, what are all the things that I loved about them? And I feel if you get it out of your mind and onto paper where you can see it, the mirage kind of evaporates and you see things for what it is, that it's not an oasis. It was something in the heat of it all. That's funny. In the heat of the desert, in the heat of meeting and everything, it created this mirage, this illusion of that they were this perfect. But once you get it out and you really start to see things more clearly, I feel like that will release things for you there, because I don't feel like they are, but I feel like you guys definitely were. When you talk about soulmates, yeah, you definitely are soulmates, but not in the sense of a soul partner where you're going to be with them the rest of your life. You both were stepping stones to show each other, mirrors of yourself, to show yourself your fears so you can release this. You both were being mirrors so that you could prepare yourself for someone else in the future. So, journaling, really getting it out of your head and where you can see it, will help you put more definition to things and understand what it was for what it was. And part of that is writing down what you fear. If you guys never contact again, what are the triggers that come up? What are the, these ugly feelings that come up along with everything else, right? Um, so hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they have for you right now, Ashish. So many blessings to you. Right. And then we have Livier Vergara. Hello, hello, Livier. Get your timestamp down here. Good to see you. There we go. So, will you be working related to your profession? Is it traveling related in sales or business matters or administrative? All right, let's take a look here. So, first, we'll ask the question, will you be working related to your profession? All right, whoa. I feel like this is that one. And then this is for the second. Is it travel related, sales, business matter, administrative? Okay. So will you be working? Well, you have the knight, not the knight, the queen of swords, which is the balance between head and heart. It's also the perfect compatible um job. It's the perfect compatible person energy. So if we're talking about work, it's a perfect related, it just fits like a glove. So I do feel like it is going to be related to your profession. And then is it travel, um, in sales or business matters or administrative? Let's take a look here. You got the five of wands. All of this energy, so much energy here. I feel like it's just is everything all bundled together. So there is traveling related to sales, business matters, and administrative. I feel like it might be a smaller company because this kind of reminds me of like a family business. A lot of drama, a lot of things here, but I feel like it's almost like instead of hats, it's like you hold a lot of wands. So a lot of different duties. So you do travel, you do sales, you do are also involved in business matters. You also have administrative work that you help with because it's like everybody pitches in to do all this different stuff. And I feel like there's a lot on your plate, but that's why I feel like it's a small business, because the larger the corporation or the larger the business that you work in, the more siloed your responsibilities are, because it's so big and so much that all you can do is one duty. But when you're a smaller, there's less of it, but so they have you do more things because they can't afford to have one person just do this, one person just do this, etc. Right? So that's what's coming in, Olivier. So hopefully that makes sense. So smaller company um, kind of energy is what I'm feeling. All right. So many blessings to you. And then Happy Pill, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Like a general reading for 1 month from now. Where are you going to be 1 month from now? What does Spirit want you to know about where you are 1 month from now? Okay, nope, not those. Nope, none of those. All right. Okay, I feel like this one and this one here. All right. Well, there is this kind of decision that's coming up here. You have the Two of Cups, but you also have the Judgment card with the two X's on here. So this is your higher self calling you to a new place here. And the Two of Cups here, it reminds me of the Lover's card, which is actually our higher self and our human self, two parts of us, Gemini twin energy, which is the relationship between your human self and your higher self. And here's your higher self calling you to this new place. So I feel like in a month from now, I feel like you're getting a lot of clarity in this connection with your higher self, with your spiritual posse, about what it is you want to do next. Where is it you want to go? I feel like there's a lot of clarity in kind of receiving a calling, a nudge, a draw into making a decision. And the Two of Cups is an emotional choice. That's why I feel like you're in a place of choosing differently than you've chosen before in the past. And this whole wake up call about, what is it that you really want to do? You're no longer just feeling like you're existing, you're wanting to live. And I feel like you're in this place of, I'm done. The two X's of the Judgment card too is like, I'm not going to wait for a third strike with whatever's going in your life, whatever this change of direction, or it doesn't feel like relationship, but it just feels like a change in what you're wanting to do, where you're wanting to go. And I just feel like you're at a place of like, all right, I'm not gonna. It's two strikes. I don't like what's going on. I'm not gonna wait for a third one. It's like, as they say, what is it? Screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. Screw me three times, no way. I'm moving on. Whether it's a person, a relationship, a job, whatever it is, whatever situation it is, you're like, I'm done. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. So you're really reaching a kind of a culmination, a climax point of like, enough is enough. And I feel like you're making some changes based on that. So interesting. That is what they have for you right now, Happy Pill. So many blessings to you. All right. So that is it for my YouTube channel member free readings. Now we're going to move into the general, I don't know, what do you call it? The rest of the free readings. Let's see here. I have probably about a little over 20. So hang in there. Again, thank you guys so much for all of your patience and getting to your readings. I'm so grateful to be able to offer these. I know not everyone has the ability to make donations and be YouTube channel members. So I definitely, and I do have a celebration. I posted it. I think I posted on social media too, but I posted it in the chat at the beginning of the first session. I'm having a celebration of 2,400 plus YouTube channel members. So I'm so grateful. I don't focus on numbers, but when I notice it, and I want to show appreciation. So I'm going to have some drawings for free personal recorded readings, which is what I do, personal recorded readings as well, personal readings. In addition to all of this. So I want to give some away for free. So be sure to check that link out because I want to show my appreciation. All right. Okay, I think we're refreshed. So we will jump in here. So up first for the extra free readings, we have Marian. Let's grab your timestamp here. After I'm done, I will post a pinned comment listing everyone's name and your timestamp as well. So that's why I'm doing those. So, Marian, hello. So, if you can ask, will it be a good decision for you to move to a new country in the future? All right. So, based on current energies, is it Good decision for you to move to a new country in the future. All right, here we go. Boom and boom. Yeah, I feel like with a 10 of pentacles, that is a very abundant energy. The 9 of wands is the perseverance and moving beyond something to do it. So I do feel like there is, I guess it depends on what country too, but this barrier, the 9 of wands, I feel like this is keeping you away from certain ones. Because and you can trust that, like, where the doors close, like, if you try to get a visa or try to get to go somewhere and you keep on getting block, 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 this isn't about persevering. This is about trust that they're keeping you out of somewhere that's not for your benefit, and that, where you end up, where it ends up smoothly moving into, then right? So, yes, yes, for it is a for a very it's a very beneficial, for you to move to a new country in the future, but just be aware of any blocks that are keeping you from going somewhere and trust that you are being divinely protected. So I like that for you. All right. So that's what they have for you, Marian. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Butterfly A, you are up. So Butterfly A, hello, hello. So why was ES suddenly so nice to you yesterday on Friday? All right, let's take a look here. He's treated you bad. But next week you're meeting with the principal about you reviewing them. So that's why they're like, what's their motivation, right? Yeah. So I do have here the Knight of Cups is here comes the Knight of Cups to woo the Queen of Pentacles to try to get on their nurturing side. So, yep, schmooze energy definitely here. You nailed it. You picked up on it. You're like, I like this Mother Nature, Mother Nurture because they're bringing back an old butter commercial of all things. You can't fool Mother Nature because they were like, this isn't real butter. And it's like, no, it's margarine or whatever. You can't fool Mother Nature. And that's it. You can't fool Mother Nature. So that's what's coming in there, Butterfly. It is, they're afraid. So they're trying to schmooze, trying to, do all that. And that's okay. Trust your heart. Look at things from that the reason why they treated you badly was out of fear. So they weren't, there's not good or bad, there's just lower vibration, higher vibration. And when a human acts in lower vibration, it's because they're in fear and they can't help it. And so when you realize someone is acting out in a certain way, it's not towards us. They're just expressing how they feel about themselves. So as you're going in here and talking about what's going on, what they did, kind of go in with eyes wide open, with a heart of compassion, just realizing when a human, when their inner child feels unsafe and out of control, they do stupid shit. Because we knock out our intelligent, loving, compassionate side and we do stupid things. Little pet hissing cat and a 2-year-old are in charge. That's why they acted like a 2-year-old, because they were in fear. When they're not in fear, they act more mature. But all humans, when we're in fear, we act stupid. So hopefully that helps, Butterfly. But you're right, you nailed it. Schmoozy, schmoozy woozy going on there. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dears. So many blessings to you. And then Yadi Colón, hello, hello. Thank you for your donation earlier. I appreciate that. For your free question. So your boyfriend or your BF, I think it's boyfriend, right? Daughters or best friend. That's BFF, right? Best friends forever. So your boyfriend, daughter's father are in a positive communication. Will he truly plan to make the move to Virginia to be closer to us? Ooh, okay. So based on current energies, will they really make this move or are they just blowing smoke? Let's take a look here. All right. Yeah. Based on current energy, they will with this page, not page, Ace of Pentacles. It's a new opportunity in the outside world, and that Queen of Swords is about balance between head and heart. It's a great energy because it's also about compatibility and seeing things as a perfect, compatible, fit like a glove, great situation. And they see it as a win win, 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 win. So I do actually feel like they will with this energy. So I like that for you, Yadi. Fast and breezy, short and easy with that energy. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Jojo, Johanna, thank you so much for your question here. Yes, you can absolutely have a general reading. Let's see what they want you to know here, Jojo. So, what does Spirit want you to know here? All right. So, we do have these two here. Death to all relationships. Love, fairy godmother. That's a private joke, right? But really, is it? We do have the death card and we do have the lovers card here. But there's more than meaning to this than death to all relationships. Because the death card is about endings and beginnings and rebirth. So it is about a transformational energy. The lovers card doesn't, it's relationships, it's all relationships. But I feel like there is definitely changes happening in relationship, but it's also the power of emotional choice card here, right? And it's about not fearing making the wrong emotional choice, but just realizing they're different choices that bring different outcomes and different experiences. And I feel like there's this energy of don't look at an ending as an ending. Just know that every ending is a beginning. Every new beginning has an ending. And that the ending of whatever this relationship is important for you, but it has to be your emotional choice that you want to end something because it's important for you to move forward. Two major arcana. So it's an important energy here. And then P.S. Death to all relationships. He keeps coming in. Fairy godmother, thank you. They have to make their little presence known always because they love you. That's why. So that's what they have for you, Jojo. Hopefully that makes sense. But many blessings to you. All right, let me bring some more of these over here. I love David. He's just hilarious. Such a comedian, literally. May he rest in peace. All right, so Mira, you are up next. So you'd like a general read for July. What do you need to know? Let's take a look here. What's at least one or two things that you need to know here? So let's take a look here. Oh, all right. Well, one thing you need to know, you do have the Five of Swords, which represents conflict energy. It is conflict between your head and heart, but it's also conflict in the outside world. Whatever conflict that this comes up does bring a new opportunity, a heightened opportunity with the Page of Pentacles coming in here. So it's important, to know that when we get the conflict that's in here, the head saying this is what you should do, supposed to do, need to do, and the heart going is, I want to live, and the mind is like, no, you're going to do what I want to do. All of that going on anyway helps us grow and helps us take us to new heights and new opportunities. Excuse me, but sometimes it makes its way out into the outside world where the battling is just continuing going on. It takes a outside interaction to nudge us to really push us that extra step we need to take action. So this struggle that's been going on inside of you, whether it's for work or a relationship or some sort of situation, whatever this is that's been going on, this battle in here, you're about to have help come in to help nudge you, to help agitate you, to irritate you, to make a move. And it's happening for you. It's pre-approved by you before you came down here with your spirit guides, because you're coming to this point in your life where this decision has to be made. And you told your spiritual posse that if I don't make a decision by this time, bring that in and that'll nudge me. So it's not happening to you. It's still happening for you, even though it might feel like it's happening to you in the beginning. But this conflict that it creates just helps nudge and lunges you forward, where then you'll have release and relief with that too. That helps move you into, really, you'll see it as a blessing in disguise eventually. And really, quite quickly, you'll see it as a blessing in disguise. Not like years later, but weeks later, you're like, oh, I see why this happened. Thank you. All right, I get it. So I like that for you. So that's a little piece they have you for the month of July. So hopefully that helps. All right, so that's what they have for you, Miriam. Many blessings. And then JJJ, you are up. So you had 5115. Look at that mirroring there. So how can one vibrate the heart chakra? Ooh, beautiful question. How can one vibrate? I love it. The heart chakra. All right. So you got the high priestess, spiritual energy, and the six of wands, which is balanced energy. It's also victory, feeling the support of the upper realms, high priestess energy, divine feminine, allowing this energy, which is that heart chakra. So let's sit with this for a moment, because how can you vibrate your heart chakra? It's about aligning yourself, and I feel like, because the heart chakra is the center of the chakras of the main seven, right? You got the main one, then you have your solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra. So you have the three lower vibration chakras. Then you have three higher vibration chakras, right? Your throat, your third eye, and your crown. It all meets in the heart. And so it's kind of like you can do this balancing energy, and that's interesting. The six, balancing the six chakras on either side helps you vibrate the heart chakra. So something that I do, and it's interesting with the duality of the two pillars of the queen, is you can start off by picturing a green energy below you, and then a white energy above you, and just see that. Invite, it's like whatever your dominant hand is, you reach to the heavens. Whatever your non-dominant hand, it's like, yeah, that's your receiving one. You put your hand down into the earth energy. That's mother earth energy. And then father, divine father energy, divine mother energy. And then you just bring them down through your chakras, through your crown, third eye, into your throat. You bring up that energy from through your root into your sacral, into your solar plexus, and you bring them into your heart. And you just mix them together. And then they just become this beautiful green and white flowing energy. And you just allow that energy to flow and to flow and to flow. But it's that receiving both the love of the Divine Mother, the love of the Divine Father. Just receive that and have that come into your heart. Something that I do along with that is, it's like a four-part kind of meditation or mantra where I start off, I am unconditionally loved. Just imagine I'm unconditionally loved by the Divine Mother, the Divine Father. You let that fill you up, and then you are, I am unconditional love. I'm made of unconditional love, right? You let that love fill you up and you let it flow out to the world, saying, I unconditionally love the world. Then you feel this flood of energy come back, because then it is, the world is made of unconditional love, and the world unconditionally loves me. Then you give that love energy back to Divine Mother, Divine Father, and let it flow back. And you can do that as many times as you want, but that helps vibrate. And it actually balances all your chakras because love energy is the most powerful energy. It'll balance everything and it'll allow this space of receiving from spirit. So hopefully that helps. Some things that you can do with that. All right. So that's what they have for you, JJJ, and anyone else that helps benefit. Many blessings. Right. And then Ateshi Singh, you are up. You got 5522. Look at numbers are starting to repeat. So Ateshi, hello, hello. Will that thing manifest in your physical reality on May 17th? All right, based on current energy. Will that thing manifest? All right. It doesn't, I don't get that here. You have the Eight of Cups, which is walking away from emotions, relationships, whatever that don't serve you anymore, which starts a new journey here with the Full card, heading off in a new direction, looking at things differently. So there is this letting go and starting something new energy. So I don't feel like this thing manifests in the physical world, but I feel like it's good because you're letting something go that needs to be let go of to move into something that is more of an adventure for you. So um, I don't feel like that is a yes, but I feel like it is, of course. Whatever unfolds always is for us, right? Even though it sometimes doesn't feel like it, but eventually we see, oh, yeah, if that would have happened, I wouldn't have gone into this. So I'm so glad that that other thing didn't happen now that I see it, right? So that's what's coming in for you now. So many blessings to you. Hang in there, Teshi. Right. And then we've got Mika Khan up. So we got 56, 58 for you. So, Mika, more details on what you should sell to make $200,000 fast. Now, I know you've asked this question a couple times. I don't know if you've seen your other ones. If you haven't and you can't find them, let me know. But in the sessions, I've been putting pinned comments and I've completed all readings the last several weeks. There was only one day, a Saturday, 3, 4 Saturdays ago that I didn't get to any, but um, on a Saturday morning session that was like 6 hours, but the rest of the time I've gotten to every single reading. So if you're wanting more information, definitely check those out. I'll see more here, what else they'll give you here. So if you're asking for more, having heard those, but I want to make sure you know that you do have all of those before been answered as well too. Wow. So you do have here the Two of Swords is definitely two different routes that you can go here. And one is of the mind, but one is of the heart. And I feel like it's something in your heart, something that you've really always wanted to express and do and help. Again, it feels like helping others because it feels very emotionally connected, something that means a lot. The Seven of Wands is about not dimming your light, not asking permission to shine, not defending yourself. But it does have to do here, the Seven of Wands, they're bringing in something that helps with energetic blocks, but it doesn't feel like spiritual energy and that type of thing. It feels like physical energy, something that in the physical body, maybe even with the heart itself. So if you've been looking into any kind of medicinal things, even if it's like Chinese teas or Chinese medicines, something that has some sort of natural herbal thingy, do you like my scientific terms? Our herbal thingy that helps with circulation, that helps with energetic blocks. But I feel like it has to do with whatever is a leading cause of heart um, blood blood circulation. something that helps clear away, like, they're reminding me of, like, beet juice, little tablets or whatever that are, I think, no, like, they claim that it helps clean your arteries, it helps flow of your body, it helps do this, and, it'd be like that kind of thing, it's helping with flow, if that helps. So that's what I feel coming in here. Again, a disclaimer: I'm no medical professional. I'm, tarot's for fun, not a business professional. Everyone ultimately makes their own decisions. So see the disclaimer in the description box of the video. All right. So hopefully that helps, Mika. That's what's coming in. All right. Then we have Alisha coming in. So 141. All right. So, Alicia, your free question: what's coming next in your love and career life? All right. So, let's take a look here. Let's see what they have here: a card for love and a card for career. So, for love, well, a very strong message. You do have a very important relationship coming your way here with a lover's card. So, definitely there's something in the works bringing in an important relationship. And I don't feel like, though, Alicia, that this is like a forever in this lifetime relationship. Like, it's your soul, what we call a soul partner, where it's the person you end up with the rest of your life. I feel like it's an important relationship, but I feel like it doesn't last. Like, I feel like it's a significant one, meaning it's not just a week, the good old week. I feel like I feel like it's even like a year or two kind of relationship that comes in where you learn a lot about yourself and you grow a lot, and it's a beautiful um, relationship that is so important for you to experience. You learn a lot, like I said, about yourself. You release a lot. You know what you and I feel like you put in a lot of practices of gratitude and letting expectations go, and you learn a lot through the mirror of what you guys are to each other, which helps prepare you. And I don't feel like it's a bad breakup either. I feel like it's you guys change enough where you realize, yeah, are we done? And you're like, yeah, we're done. And you're like, okay. It's like you both come to that conclusion and you're just like, you part friends. Um, and but then you have someone you meet later. So that's who's coming in. And then your career, I feel like you're in a transformational stage here, caterpillar to butterfly. Things are changing, things are altering. Got two major arcana coming in. So I do feel like there's an important change point that's happening here in your life with your career, seeing things differently. And I feel like you're moving from what you thought you would want to do into something that's more in alignment that brings life. Because a caterpillar wants certain things like eating leaves and walks around, but once it goes in that cocoon and it transforms into a butterfly, it wants nectar, not leaves. It wants to go migrate, it wants to travel, it wants to flutter and use its wings. I feel like what you're in or where you were headed feels restrictive now. It feels doesn't taste the same anymore. It's because 'cause you've changed, and so there's a new path, a new career, a new direction that you're being nudged and drawn to do, right now. So follow your heart, it won't lead you wrong, right? So hopefully that helps, Alicia. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you, right? And then Carolina Ortega, let's grab your timestamp here. So Carolina, welcome, welcome to the channel. And you want to know your question is, why do you keep hearing a crow? Because there's one living outside your window. No, I'm just kidding. Let's take a look here. I love crows. I hear crows all the time too. They definitely are messengers of the higher realms. So they're trying to bring you a message. Let's see what that message is here. Yeah. So I like this here. So the Three of Swords is about expectations equal disappointment, and this Four of Pentacles is this energy that it's time for this change. Now, this can be about location because the Four Pentacles is one of my cards that represents home, four walls in the outside world. But there's also these messages that come in. The Four Pentacles, what we really learn through that and through this expectations equal disappointment is, of course, we as humans, most of us, when we're growing up, are taught define your self worth by these three buckets out here: relationships, situations like jobs, education, social status, whatever situations we get in, and things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, right? But all those three things are unstable. People change, people walk away, people pass away. Unstable. So if we define ourselves by those, then we feel unstable. When we define ourselves by jobs, education, any of that stuff's never staying the same. Unstable, we feel unstable. Same thing with bodies, bank accounts, money, all that. Possessions, they deteriorate, they blow up, they burn down, they're stolen. So all of this is telling us that this disappointment of the outside world eventually turns us inward and upward. I feel like the crows are saying, look to the skies. That's where your answer is at. And the sky is going inward and upward and finding the eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms. Eternal lasts forever. It's pretty stable, right? Unconditional, no conditions, not even one. Just takes one condition to be conditional. So no conditions, nothing you have to do to earn it, nothing you can do to lose it. That's pretty solid too, right? Excuse me. So these messages are all about your worth and that you're tired of the instability and bored with the temporariness and fickleness and ever changing of the outside world. You're looking for something solid. And inward and upward is where it's at, baby. And so those crows are telling you, cock, look up that way, huh, cock, 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 that I love the ravens and crows. And it's like, okay, you're telling me to look here, look deeper, look into the sacred, look into the divine. And I like this energy because it is going to set you free. Because once we find this fullness on the inside, the outside world moves from feeling lacking and falling short. When we fill up with that love on the inside, we fill up and overflowing. All that they give on the outside world that used to be lacking becomes above and beyond extra. So the world on the outside starts reflecting the abundance we feel on the inside, and it feels like it's above and beyond extra. So there's a big transformation, and I feel like a crow is giving you this message: look up, look up, look up, because they know the answer is there for you. So, and they'll show up whenever there's messages to come through for you too. That's not the only thing that they have for you ever. Once you do that, they'll stop talking. No, they are like a spirit animal for you. They are a messenger. And so they're whenever you hear them, turn inward and upward, go, yeah, you rang. All right. So that's what they have for you, Carolina. Hopefully that resonates for you. Many blessings to you. Good to see you. All right. Let's bring some more of these down here. Thank you guys again for your patience in getting to your readings here. All right. I think it's as many as I can fit right now. Right, up next we have Macaroni. Hey, Macaroni, let's get your timestamp here. All right. So, Macaroni, you're expecting a call from Taurus. How many days or weeks until that? Oh, okay. All right. Let's find out about this Taurus, right? My brother, he's a Taurus. So, how many days or weeks until, based on current energy, this call from the Taurus? This call from the Taurus. Okay. Those, huh? All right. Who knows? Who knows? Well, it's kind of undecided with the Chariot card. That's the power of choice. And that can be a couple of different time frames that are coming up, but the cycles of the moon definitely feel like they're coming in here. Full moon, new moon energy. What? Don't we have a Taurus? Taurus season is we're in Taurus season right now, aren't we? I think we are, right? Yeah, because my brother's birthday was a couple weeks ago. So we're in the middle of Taurus season right now. When is the Yeah, I think we already had the Taurus new moon. We just had that, and we just had a full moon and a different one. But so I just feel like there's full moon, new moon energy. I mean, we just had a full moon on last Monday. So I feel like it's new communication on a new moon. Um, so it's either going to be like a week from Monday ish to a month and a week, because of course new moons only happen once a month. Possibility of a full moon, but I feel like there's more of this energy around new moon energy because it's the new communication, the new reaching out energy is really what I feel coming through here. Full moon energy is more howling at the moon, and I feel like that just becomes a bit too much energy for them. The new moon feels kind of more balanced for them. So it feels because they have the space to calm, but I feel like a full moon is more of that energy. So I'm feeling like more around those new moons. So either a week or 5 weeks from Monday, because those are the around those new moons. So hopefully that helps, macaroni. You're like, come on, moon. Yeah. And even make the most of new moon wishes. I do put out videos every month for new moon energy. So be sure you might even go back and look at the Taurus new moon one because you can use that Taurus new moon energy to make new moon wishes. Because we're still, even though we had a full moon, you can still go back and grasp that energy. We're powerful enough to do that. So you can check that out. The links to the sun, new and full moon is all one playlist. It's in the description box of the video if you want to check that out. All right. So that's what they have for you, macaroni. Many blessings. And then Neha, you are up. Let's see, Neha. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Neha, you want to know, what does Varun's mom think about you? All right. So based on current energy, let's see what they think of you. Now, remember when we're asking about what other people feel, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So much of what we see and feel about others is about how we feel about ourselves. Not that I feel any bad energy, but I feel like it's important to know that there's a great Instagram post I saw once that other people's opinion of me is none of my business because it's really not about me so much about their life, the lens through which they see the world and what they're going through. Someone could be sick and not feeling good and think everyone's, thinks lower of everyone else, and they're in a great mood, they think great of everybody else. It's fickle. That's our opinion of other people changes like we change underwear. Hopefully. All right. So let's see, what do they think of you here? All right. Well, they think you're a very passionate person with the Ace of Wands and the Six of Wands. So I feel like they feel like you're active, go. Um, a very expressive person, very fiery personality. Six of Wands is, um, I don't know, like, I feel like they're kind of a reserved person, and so they're gonna see anyone that's bold, anyone that's kind of a little fiery. Are you a fire sign? that they want to be seen, and they see people as that way, that, oh, people just want to be seen. And it's because they secretly want to be seen too. Maybe they're a fire sign. They want to be seen, but I feel like they've been taught to suppress, you know, simmer down. And when they see someone being able to express themselves, there's a little bit of jealousy of, I was never able to do that. Why do you and all these other people get to do that? So they see you as someone fiery, and it's a little bit of admiration, but there's jealousy and then judgment behind it a little bit too. So it's a very sore point with them because of how they grew up. So example, it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to see things from their experiences and their pain that comes in. So hopefully that makes sense with that, where they're coming from. But there's admiration, and they want to, they wanted to be able to do what you're doing and expressing yourself in your life. But they were taught in a very extreme way to not, you know, no, 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 So hopefully that makes sense. And that's what they have for you, Neha, right now. That's one thing they feel about you uh, right now. All right. So many blessings. All right. And then we have Sassylibra. So Sassylibra, when I go through the entire chat to grab out all the questions, and I saw too late that you were like, hey, can I change how I asked my question about the job? And I'm like, oh no. So hopefully I answered what you were wanting when you asked for a general reading, whatever came through. Hopefully that was enough. So I'm so sorry. All right. So thank you for that donation earlier, by the way. And so you want to know, will your poetry lyric songs make you successful and put you in the spotlight? May spirit be brutally honest or brutally beautiful. Well, they will be compassionately honest. How about that? So let's take a look here. Based on current energies, will your poetry lyric songs make you successful and put you in the spotlight? Let's take a look here. All right. So we've got emotional choice here. Interesting. And another major arcana, the high priestess. This is the power of choice coming in here. Following your intuition, following your heart. I like this. I feel like there is this, definitely a lot of emotional energy because the high priestess, she can dive deep into those emotions. This is about trusting your intuition, trusting your heart, a lot, digging into a lot of deep emotion, a lot of hidden things, allowing those to come out. People will really relate to all that secret emotional energy that I feel like you're pretty honest with your poetry and your lyrics, but I feel like there's some raw, even more raw stuff that's really going to really hit really well. This Lovers card is important relationships too, coming in here, and so I feel like um, they will. I feel like being more raw in what you're communicating does get you in contact with someone that can help do this here for you. So I feel like there is great possibility here with this, but I do feel like it takes you being so real, so true to you, even in the words that you use and the subject matter you use. I feel like you're pretty honest, but I feel like there's some, like you're talking this brutally honest is what they feel like. Be brutally honest and share these, and I feel like keep doing it, and even in your intuition, allow your heart and allow spirit to guide you to these places that you want to put your songs out. And I feel like if you keep doing it. I don't feel like it's overnight. It's not like a miracle, bing, kind of thing. But I feel like if you keep doing it, that you will get noticed by someone in the industry that will help you. And you have a lot of opportunity and possibility for this. There's no guarantees that they're saying here. Um, and I feel like that's important. The hidden and the unknown is important for you. Yeah. Because I feel like, not that you'd give up, but I feel like if oh, it's going to be successful, that we might back off a little bit. And they're like, right now, it's not about backing off. It's about deeper and more kind of energy. So hopefully that helps. Um, but they're hiding that from you. Not hiding it from you. That's not accurate. They're saying that there's so many different possibilities and so many choices to be made. With that Lover's card is the power of emotional choice, that there's things that will come earlier, things that would come later, depending on all these multiple choices that you still have to make. And they're like, "Eh, some things, yeah, some things, nah." But it's about how deep you share about your experiences, and no matter how raw it is, it's what people will relate to. So hopefully that helps. All right, that's what they have for you right now, Sassylibra. So many blessings to you. All right, and then we have, is that Langlen? You are up. So Langlen, you would like to get a free reading? Absolutely. Let's see what Spirit has here for you. So hopefully it's up here. Okay. Just one. What else? Nope, they want this one right here. All right. So what do they want you to know right now? All right. You know, whatever, kind of question you had on your mind or you wanted to hear from Spirit, you have the Seven of Wands, which is all about being true to yourself, not dimming your light, not asking permission to shine. Like the sun doesn't ask permission to shine, it just shines bright. It doesn't defend who it is. It's I am me. If you can't take it, get out of the sun, get in the shade, get in the cellar, put on some sunscreen, get a big sun hat, whatever. I'm not dimming my light. And that's what brings success. That's what brings things forward for you here. So it spins the wheels of fate and moves you forward, and to something that feels more full and more, uh, fortunate. It's the wheel of fortune, the tune of for you. And I like this for you. And it's like, yeah, don't dim your light, don't back off, don't try to fit into the boxes. It's all about expressing yourself and standing. If it's you standing out, stand out, because it's important for you to do that, for your life. What are you waiting for to live your dream? To die? No, time to live your dream. So, whatever this energy is, just realize this is the time for me to choose for me, not to try to be what everyone else wants me to be. It's about me being true to me. What do I want? What does my heart want? Close your eyes, open your heart. What is it? Where's it taking you? Where do you want to go? And follow that. That's what I feel's coming through. Right? So that's what they have for you, Langland. So many blessings to you. Let me bring, I think I can almost bring the rest of these over. We're getting there, everyone. Hang in there. Many blessings. Okay, maybe not all. All right, there we go. Well, we got a few more. All right. So, Lucky, you are up next. So, you were at exactly 1 minute. I mean, sorry, 1 hour, 24 minutes. So, Lucky, thanks for all your wonderful, kind comments this evening, too. I appreciate you. So, you want to know, what are John's intentions towards you? You saw him briefly today while he was working. It was a quick hello and talk to you later. So, what are John's intentions towards you? Nope, none of those. So, based on his current energies, okay, there we go. All right. Well, We do have the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles is an energy of, you know, later, like talk to you later, but see ya later. It's new opportunities in the future. They're seeing it more as later. And the Devil card, the Capricorn Saturn energy, is a lot about trying to figure things out. A lot of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. I feel like they're in a place where, if you ever heard of a Saturn return, it's where Saturn returns back to where it was at the time of your birth. It usually takes about 29 years, every 28, 29 years. But that's the kind of energy I feel where and it can impact us 3 to 5 years before and after that because it's so far out from the sun. So things can impact us for longer periods of time. But but it's the energy of that. It's not necessarily that they're in their Saturn return, although they could be. But I feel like their life is being shaken up quite a bit about long held thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that they're questioning, and they're just, why do I believe that? Why do I need that? What are my expectations? I don't know. I don't like all these expectations. I feel caged. I want to be freed from these cages. What's going on? I don't know. And I just feel like they have a lot of this energy going on to where they're kind of in this everything is later. They're pushing everything to later because I feel like they're trying to think about things, but I feel like they're overthinking things, which is just making them frustrated. Might even see steam and smoke coming out of their ears because they're doing too much thinking. So I don't feel like they know what their intentions are. It just feels like they're putting things off, trying to figure out what they want in life, and that's all part of it too. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's the kind of energy that I have coming right now is I don't know. They don't know. So that's what they have. All right. So many blessings to you, Lucky. All right. And then we have Jennifer Morales. You are up. Let's put your timestamp in here. So, Jennifer, your free question: why is Carlos being silent? And should you continue reaching out? All right, let me take a sip here. All right. So, why is Carlos being silent? Okay. And should you continue reaching out? Excuse me. Getting my little squeaky voice again. All right. So why is Carlos silent? He is burdened. Oh, that 10 of wands, he's carrying all this energy that's here. So there is a kind of two things with this energy. One is that they do have a lot going on in their life, so they're kind of pulled in a lot of different directions. But the other part of this energy with the 10 of wands is even before they met you, they had this long list of supposed to be's, of expectations of what interactions with people should be. They come with a large list, probably from a mom or a very strong personality in their life, feminine personality, that was like, this is what a man should bring a woman. This is what someone should be in a relationship. They're like, here's the book. And they're like, oh my God. And so they feel like there's a lot of expectations. Whether you have them or not, whether you voice them or not, they're there and here in their brain. And so there's this burden of feeling like, I don't think I can live up to all this. And you're like, you're not asking them to, maybe, right? Are you? Are you? You would know. But even if you're not, the voice of their this strong feminine personality is telling them, "You won't be able to do all that," and it has a lot to do with their esteem, their past, all these expectations. "It's too much, I don't think I can handle it, it's too big of a burden." So I feel like that's why they've gone silent. They got a lot of stuff going on in their life, and then that as well. So, feel like when they didn't have the combination of both those, they felt all right, but they've got so much other things in their life that are sucking so much life out of them already that the combination of those two, it feels like I can't do it, all this. And I feel like that's why they're going silent because they fear failure going on. Um, what happens if you reach out? Well, you got the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is abundance, fullness of life. It is like a, yeah, it's the energy is worth the result, the waiting, the pursuing. It is beneficial to do it. So I would continue reaching out and knowing that that burden that's there, anything you can do to focus on what you, because if you are focusing on expectations, that's what sucks the life out of a relationship. Because we're focusing on who they're not being, what's not happening. And if we're focusing on that energy, it's going to push someone away. If we're voicing it, doubly so, it'll push someone away. If we, on the other hand, energetically, we start focusing on what are we grateful for in who Carlos is, what they bring into our interactions. If you're in a relationship, what are you grateful that the relationship is bringing into your life? The more you focus on the higher vibration, the more that grows instead of the not. Because if we're focusing on expectations, we're checking off things, going, "Oh, they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this." But energetically, we're also focusing on well, they're not doing that, they're not doing that, they're not doing that. That not part grows. But and voicing what you are grateful for in someone. So if you're reaching out and continue reaching out, going, what I love about you is your sense of humor. I could be having one of the roughest days, and then you come up with these little zingers that just crack me up and it changes my day. I love that about you. Boom. Who wouldn't want to, do that? And that helps them overcome their long list of, I don't think I can do this. You actually flood them with some love energy that gives them a little bit of hope as well. So that's what they have for you, Jennifer. Hopefully that helps. So many blessings to you. Right. Think I almost have. I can bring them all. Oh! I can bring them all down here. Yay! All right. So we're down to 4. All right. So we've got Pakistan, Zindabad. So thank you for your patience in getting to your reading here. And you wanted to know, will Uncle Raja select you for his son? All right, let's take a look here. All right, so based on current energy. All right, so we got this one and this one. Let's see what we have here. I with this 5 of wands and the 8 of wands, there's a lot of fire energy here. I don't feel like they will with this, but I'm glad for you for this because this 5 of wands represents a lot of drama, a lot of heated discussions, a lot of fire, and this 8 of wands, the combination of all this is a lot of fire. This is a lot of heatedness. This is a lot of like um it's not passion like in a good way. It's like anger, like someone needs anger management courses or classes. There's a lot of fire, a lot of aggression, a lot of built up stuff. And I feel like you're being spared from something by not being chosen for this because there's stuff behind the scenes. There's a lot of um, I almost would say abuse that's here. And so I just feel like you're being spared something by not being selected there. Um, so I feel like it's a no, and I feel like you're being divinely protected here. Even on the bottom of the deck, you have the Empress card, which is about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, self nurturing, um, and and I do feel like it's for your benefit because that is the birthing is all this energy, and I feel like there's someone that's a better fit that is gonna nurture, and it's gonna be you know, more love and sensuality than, you know, I just feel like it's a, a better fit for you. So hopefully that helps, Pakistan. So hang in there. All right. And then Valerie Carver. Hello, Valerie. Let me put your timestamp in here. So, Valerie. All right, I do have to say a disclaimer, just because we're in the United States, that I'm, of course, not a legal or professional or, uh, just see the disclaimer down below. Because this is a very, like I say, tarot is for fun. This is not fun, for sure. And so we'll dive in here to get some answers for you. But disclaimer made. All right. So there's a lost 15-year-old, and you want to know if she is alive and where is she? She's lost in Canada. Okay. Or she was lost from Ontario, right? So let's take a look here. So is she still alive? Let's reach out. Okay. And where is she? I feel like we're going to get an extra card here. All right. So she is still alive. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. So there is this new opportunity in it and new location too with this. There's this path that's leading away here, leading through these gates, through this hedge. And where is she? Yeah. So I feel like she's slowly moving towards a different location with this Two of Swords. There is this, she's torn between her head and her heart, but this is and here's that new location. The Knight of Pentacles is wanting to go to a new location. So I don't feel like she's lost. I feel like she chose this with the Two of Pentacles because that's the battle between the head and the heart. So I don't feel like there's like it's not like she was taken kind of energy here. I feel like there was a choice to go somewhere else. Very conflicted with the Two of Swords between her head and her heart, and but I just feel like, the you remember how it was, when we were teenagers, how those hormones just take over and we just make decisions that are unwise for ourselves. Such is the journey, such is the adventure. Do feel safe though, and they're slowly moving toward it. They might even be temporarily at a friend's house as, the staging point to be able to go and to do somewhere, because I feel like it's a very slow, it's not, I don't feel like they're hitchhiking, but I feel like it's a slow progress. Like they want to do this first, and then they're going to be able to go to this next, and then they're going to be able to go to this, but they're headed somewhere, and it's like leaping from friend or to relative or to whatever to get somewhere. But I don't feel danger, stranger danger energy with this. I feel like they're running away. Um, and more so, well, they're not running because it's slow, but they're walking slowly towards something. They're not so much like, because it doesn't feel like I'm abused and I'm trying to get away. It's more like I love this person, or I want to go this direction, or this is where I want to live. This is where I want to go. And I'm just tired of all this. And people, I'm unhappy because people are telling me who I should be. And that's that kind of, as when we're teenagers, we're so angry and we're so hormones going everywhere. And we're just like, I gotta be me, I gotta leave, I gotta do this. And so it's not so much, that they're running from someone, but they're just tired of life as it is and they're wanting to go somewhere else. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. So hopefully that helps, Valerie. That's what they have for you. Okay. All right. So, Bhoya, is that Twinkal or Twinkle? Thank you for being a new subscriber. And you're from India. Hello, hello. Good to have you. So, you want to know your love, Yasha's true feelings for you. Um, he cheats you. All right, let's take a look here and see if he. I think you're wanting to know if he cheats on you and what his true feelings are for you, or does he? You're saying that he does cheat. Let's take a look here. So, what's his true feelings here? What are his true feelings for you? Okay, and then about the cheating. Let's take a look here. So, their true feelings for you. Yeah, the Queen of Wands. They do like your fire, your brightness, your energy. They're very much as this, divine fire energy that they do love about you. But the thing is, I know, like, but the when you get Wands energy, when you ask about how do they love me, how do they feel about me, this isn't emotional love. This is energetic attraction, physical attraction. And I feel here with this energy that they don't have a whole lot of self love. And if I don't have self love, I can't give love. So if I love myself this much, this is all the love I can give. But I feel like they learn to show how they feel through passion, not through emotion. So they will intimacy, passion, kind of that's how they go, but the emotion is they don't have a whole lot to give, so they don't give it. So they do care about you, but the only way they know how to express themselves is through passion. Do they cheat? Got the Seven of Wands, which is them again, all this wands energy, right? About I've got to be able to be myself, not dim my light, not ask permission to shine. I'm not going to hide myself. I'm going to be myself. But all this wands energy here would tend towards an answer of, yeah, that they don't have self-love, so they feel like what makes how they define themselves is by how much passion they can give and receive. And when we don't have a lot of self-love, one person isn't sometimes going to be enough because we're so desperate for feeling self-love, we just feel we have to consume from multiple sources. So, maybe understanding that about them, that they have this emptiness inside that they can only fill themselves from their higher self into their heart, but they're looking outside of themselves, not even for emotion though, which they couldn't find it anyway, even if they looked that way, but they're trying to fill it up with this passion instead. So it's not about you, it's not about you being enough or not. It's that if they're unhappy on the inside, no one on the outside is going to make them happy. And they're just trying to consume all this to try to fill themselves up. It's never going to be enough. Um, so, that's a decision that you have to make, right? Of going, if they're always going to feel that way, maybe this is time for me to make a decision going, I deserve to have someone that can give me love. Um, you deserve to be with someone like yourself, right? So, some things to think about, but that's what they have for you right now, Boya. You're not alone, trust me. So many of us have gone through that. So, hang in there. Much love to you. All right. And then, lastly but not leastly, We have Nelia Medeiros. Nelia. You got 144.44. Look at that. All right. Itch. Sorry. My hair is growing back and it's in that itchy stage. So, Nelia, thank you so much for your donations earlier and your free reading. You're like a true love reading. All right. Let's take a look here. All righty. So, what about love? What about love? All right. True love. Well, it's out there. You've got the Queen of Swords, which is one of my cards of perfect compatibility partner, right? So they're out there, they're coming. But before that, you have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups energy with this combination really is that you're going to meet your uh, as I call your support group, which will be like not a big group. It's going to be like two others to where there's three of you. And if you don't have two besties already, you will be having these individuals because this is the solid foundation that you guys will all keep each other accountable in a loving way where you're going to keep each other honest and keep each other being true to yourselves and not trying to be someone that you're not. Like for me in my relationships when I was younger, I would try to become who I thought they needed me to become in order to keep me around. And so I would shrink, I would back away from friends, I would make that person my life. Now, if I had besties like this, they would have been like, "Snatch, come here, boy." And they'd be like, "Did you meet someone?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, how can you tell? Because you're shrinking, you're dimming your light. We haven't heard from you in 2 weeks. What's going on? Are you going back into your old habit?" I'm like, "Oh, no." But it's all about keeping each other honest, and you'll do that for them, and each of them you guys will do it for each other, but it's this solid foundation that's gonna keep you from giving up your life to make someone your life, to dim your light, to shrink, any of those habits of what we tend to do, you guys are gonna be a support for one another, a loving support. It'd be like people that will be with you the rest of your life, right? People that will be those besties. And that's who you're going to meet first. So if you don't have them, those come first, and then you meet the other one because that's what they're going to help keep you true to yourself so that this other person, when they meet you, falls for you for who you are, not who we're trying to pretend to be because it's marketable. It's going to be that you're all three out somewhere living your best life and doing something fun that you guys all love, your passion, and boom, you bump into them and they're like, "Ooh." Immediate approval from your friends. But it's the spark that happens and um and that's how it grows from that. But it's like your friends, you have Thursday night when you hang out with your BFFs and you're like, "Oh, I can't make it Thursday because I'm gonna go do that with them." And they're like, "Oh, no, you're not. That's our night. You can reschedule." And they keep you honest because you're starting to give away your life to, make their your life, but they keep you honest like you keep them honest. So I like that for you, Nelia. That's what they have for you right now. It is out there, but the bestie search is on first. All right. So that's what we have, everybody. Thank you again for all your patience in getting to your readings. I'll be posting a pinned comment here in a moment that will list all the readings with the timestamps. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, also on Sunday at 11, and then also tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for more readings. If you'd like to join me then, till then, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, hang in there, take care of yourself, and remember, have fun. Because why are we being so serious? Right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.